Welcome back to Got No Control podcast. I'm your host, RONEK. And before I introduce my special guest today, I want to invite you guys to head over to gotnocontrol.com and check out our official merchandise, t-shirts, hoodies, posters, and much more. This is a way to support us to keep doing what we do. It's nothing but love and respect. Also, don't forget to check out our Patreon where you can join our community, watch episodes before everybody else, get monthly sticker packs shipped to you, and much more perks. Make sure to check that out and take advantage of it. And with that being said, today I have a special guest all the way from the Bay Hotel.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, having a conversation with me today. I know it's been quite a journey to get here. The Bay's pretty far, but we're here.
Yeah.
And let's jump right into it, man. 2026, brother, what do you think keeps you motivated to keep the spray aerosol?
Let's see, 2026. Well, I gotta say there's a lot of riders nowadays all over the place and so much motivation from everyone. Me personally, I just want to keep it going because it's just something I love and it's like my drug. Like I gotta have it all the time. I gotta do it. And it's just super fun and it takes me away from reality when I'm out there just enjoying it.
It's kind of like coffee. Like in the morning, I need my coffee.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like first I have a coffee all the time and then I'll go to the yard or go paint.
And the reason why I asked that, brother, because the general population, the first question is like, why do those guys do that? How would they feel if they go right on their mom's house? That's always the main one that I always hear. And for someone that doesn't really understand why someone will go out there and spray paint, it's more than just spray painting, right?
Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, it's more than just that. It could be like a lifestyle for some of us. For others, it could be an escape of reality.
From so much stuff going on. And, sometimes it's just a way to cope with certain situations, right? Like some
Yeah.
people might go to therapy, but others are like, graph is what does it for me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm one of them. Instead of going to therapy with someone, I'd rather just go by myself or with my friends and go paint.
Is style important to you? Is like developing new letter structures and doing new color schemes and, doing backdrops and stuff like that. Is that important to you?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's hella important. You gotta have style. There's so many people doing graph, but like sometimes you could see the same type of style in between the whole community. So, if you got style and you're different, you stand out from the whole community.
Yeah, because I heard this new term this past weekend, right? That people are like, a lot of guys do stamping. And I was like, what do you mean by stamping, right? And they're like doing the same style over and over and over again. But in your personal opinion, do you feel like it's important to always be dropping like new letters and new styles, or is it cool to just do the same one over and over again?
Yeah, stamping is like pretty much that defines the writer. Like they could just have that one style and they could travel everywhere and just keep doing that same throwy or that same tag, the same exact thing. It just becomes a stamp. But me personally, I don't know if it's like my ADHD or whatever, but like I gotta switch my tags and my throwies and like my pieces, my burners. Like I gotta have different ones all the time. I can't just be having the same thing over and over. Like I get bored of it personally.
I think it kind of runs in your imagination too, right? Where like you did one and you kind of start telling yourself like, damn, what can I do the next time to this E, or what can I do to this L? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. Like that's how it starts. You could just do like the simplest letter and then, you take a picture of what you did and then you could go home and be like, damn, next time I want to add this on here, or next time I want to do these colorways uh for the piece or whatever. So yeah, I feel like if you want to evolve, you kind of want to, go out of the basic. You got to kind of just mess around with the letters and the styles.
And just to put it out there, like it's okay if you choose to just do what it is that you do, right? But to
Yeah.
some, it's important to develop style and get out of your comfort zone, and to others, it may not be. I mean, to each his own, and
Yeah.
it's all respect. I wanted to get into your early beginnings. Did you have any mentorship coming up, or was it kind of like I'm gonna just get it on my own?
Coming up, like, I was at the skate park and I had already gotten into graffiti, and there was kids there already doing it, but like they were very like to their own. Like they didn't really show me the ropes or nothing. Like I kind of had to find it on my own. Like from the tag to the bubble letter to a straight letter.
Do you think that makes him more gives you more gratitude of knowing that like I got it on my own, like I figured it out by myself rather than having someone pass down knowledge to me?
I mean, yeah, some people have it easier than others. Like for example, I didn't have like a tutor, but like I've met several writers who, the like their bloodline carries graffiti writers. Like it could be their uncle or their dad. So obviously for them it could be easier. They get taught like the basics and what caps work for what. But for me, it was like kind of on my own.
Imagine having your dad at home like, no man, that's toy. I ain't gonna let my son be doing them ugly bubble letters. Get your stuff right, man. Like
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
Rather to like that might even push you more, huh? Imagine having that like every day at your
Man,
house.
that'll be rough, bro. Like he'll probably get mad if you use his cans or whatever. Or like, he might want to use your paint, so it could go both ways. But yeah, I mean, having a mentor could be a good for some people, but for other people, they might enjoy not having a mentor. Like how you said,
Yeah.
some people could be very strict as a teacher.
In my personal experience, bro, coming up as a teen, like graffiti was looked at as like devil's work. Like, you don't want to be doing that. That's horrible. You're gonna end up, in all these ugly places and whatnot. Is that something you went through coming up as a kid in your household?
Yeah, man. Like when you become a graph writer and people see you like you're the devil, like people think you're like such a bad person. And sometimes graffiti writers are not bad people. They could be fucking the nicest people on earth. Like, yeah, sometimes they just categorize as like straight fucking hoodlums, like, vandals, people who are up to no fucking good. But I mean, being a graffiti writer could take you to some crazy spots where there is like crazy people. Like for example, you could go to like a river, like a creek spot, and there's a tunnel like under a bridge, and you got like a bunch of homeless people there doing bad stuff. And yeah, you just never know what you could get yourself into when you're lurking as a graffiti writer.
Yeah, man. I mean, it could be so much things going on. It's just like part of it, right? And it's like
Yeah.
I was watching this interview the other night where they were saying that like graffiti is the one element where you risk your freedom and possibly your life. And it's crazy to think about that, right? Like
Yeah.
in the moment you're doing it because like this is what I am, this is what I do. But in our reality, things will go sideways very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, things could go bad, to anyone at any time. You just never know because you know you're out there risking your life pretty much. You got to jump over fences. Got to book it from the cops sometimes. Sometimes, like I said, you could go into a creek and there's some crazy homeless people, and they could be off who knows, and they could be tripping off you just for being on their like property.
Definitely right, brother. I agree. I wanted to ask you this. I know there's a certain moment where you witness graffiti for the first time and you're kind of like, whoa, this is pretty cool. This is pretty dope. What is this? But what made you take that first step to like, I want to be part of this?
Damn, that's a good question. I mean, I started doing graffiti pretty young, and if I could go back in those days when I first started, I would have never thought I would be this addicted to it. Like I would never have thought like I would travel for doing this shit,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I felt like the more I did it, the more I started fucking falling in love with it. And it's just like a great feeling, like after I bang out like a mission on my own or with the homies, like, having a cold beer after that. It's like one of the best feelings you could get.
I feel you, man, because I remember being a teenager. We're broke. We ain't got nothing going on. We're all sharing a damn box of pizza and
Yep.
one Mickey 40, and we're just out there, like, just living life, not thinking at the moment, like, damn, what we doing out here? But we're just moving and grooving, at the moment as a teenager. So I
Yeah.
could totally relate to that.
Shit for us was the talk of vodka, bro. We would all pitch in our like 25 cents to a dollar, and we'd get a big ass jug of taco vodka and just, sometimes we wouldn't even have enough money to get a chaser, so we just get fucking faded
Sheesh.
off that.
I remember when the
And with
Four
the
Locos started coming in too. I was like,
oh,
whoa, that
those things
was.
were poison. I remember those
I
times too.
remember drinking one
2009,
and it tasted like medicine and it would give me
uh,
like super wasted. And I'm just like, whoa, what is this, you know?
yeah, those things were potent for sure.
Did you have any influences as far as writer? Like, were you watching somebody and your surroundings were like, damn, that's dope over there. I gotta get like that or better.
Like growing up, I started doing graffiti like in the early 2000s, so we didn't have Instagram when I was, coming up, so I couldn't really like look up to someone through a phone or get inspired through the phone screen.
Mm.
Like I would just have to go to the tunnels or, go to Oakland or SF and, see it in my own eyes and be like, damn, that's fucking clean, or like, damn, look at those connections, or like look at those colorways they're using. So for me, that's how I got inspired, like seeing it in person, being hella young and kind of just like standing in front of a piece or even just a simple black and white villain. And I'll just be like, damn, that's clean, bro. Like that's super saucy, super good letters.
Is there some names you could share of people that you were seeing up that you were kind of like, whoa, that's super clean over there?
Damn, yeah, I can't really like think of exactly who
Okay.
around that time, but I can name like a few heads that were like really, catching wreck around the time I was going out there, like Tunks, Remio, Specie, Erupto. Uh, you had like F word, mine. It was just like a handful of riders, just
Yeah.
catching wreck and getting spots, not just main street spots. Like these people were getting like rooftops. The We're like behind a building, but we're like still a main street shot. So all that for me was like inspirational because I don't know, I just would see all the main street stuff get buffed and some of those spots would just run for years. So that was like they knew what they were doing.
Gotcha,
They had a
gotcha.
good technique.
For anyone out there that doesn't understand the graffiti culture in the Bay, and your eyes and your lens, what makes it special in the Bay graffiti culture?
Um, well, I mean, in the Bay Area, you got Oakland and you got San Francisco. Those are like the two main cities where you actually want to go and do the do if you end up going up there to the Bay Area. Man, like they both have their differences, but like San Francisco, you could go to Chinatown and I don't know, you could feel like you're in China, You got like the community there is super cool and everything, and like just the scenery is cool. But I feel like they got a bunch of roll down doors there, um, and like a bunch of box trucks. And I've been to other cities where like they don't have a Chinatown, so I feel like the Bay Area could like stand out because of that. And then you got Oakland over the Bay Bridge, where like just everything is fucking crushed like crazy. Like sometimes you can't even find a spot to paint because
Okay.
it's so crushed. So I feel like that makes the Bay Area stand out a lot because I've traveled to other states and I haven't seen like the same amount of damage the Bay Area carries.
You know, like in LA, it seems like the cops are not super hardcore on like, you know, enforcing the law when it comes to graffiti culture. I mean, now they're starting to, but a couple months prior, it seemed like they were very lenient towards it. Is it the same way in the Bay, or is it kind of like they see you, they're trying to enforce the law full force on you?
Yeah, it's different up there. Up there, you can't really get away with doing like huge rollers, like and like the cops over there. If they see you, they'll get off their cop car and try to arrest you or try to see if you have permission.
Gotcha.
But I feel like definitely LA is more chill on the cop scene. Like the Bay Area, it's more hot. Like you got to be on your 10 toes out there for sure.
Gotcha. Coming up, was Hotel always your first name that you used, or did you have a name prior to that?
That's a good question. Man, I had a bunch of names before Hotel. I had hella names. Like I had at least five before I got Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, I had it like the first one I ever had was Look, and I would make like little eyes on the O's, and then I would like either put a little frown under the O's or a happy face, depending my mood when I was young. But I was so fucking toy. And then after that, like I had another name, Oster, Hair, Legacy. Um, Damn, yeah, I forgot the other ones, but yeah, I had uh, a lot of different names before I chose hotel.
Where does hotel come from? Like, I mean, it's not like, oh, I walked into a hotel type thing, right? Like,
Nah, nah. This is another good question. Let's see. There's two stories why I write hotel, but I'll tell you like the good one. The other one's kind of like funny, but so my freshman year, I used to smoke hella weed right in the morning and go to school high all the time. So my first period class was my math class, and I used to go in there smelling like dank. My eyes were bloodshot red, and my excuse was like I didn't sleep a lot last night.
yeah.
In reality, I was blown. But my math teacher hated me because I was always like being the class clown or like I would get distracted. So he moved my desk away from all the students. So he put my desk by his desk, and I was separated from all the classmates. So he turned my desk facing the wall by his desk, and there was a international hotel calendar right there, and he just had me look at it all the time. He made my desk face it, and one time he told me he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have you sit right here so you can look at the rest of the days, so you can know how many days are left until summer." Man, that guy hated me. But yeah, it was international hotel calendar, so I had to stare at it every morning, Monday through Friday. So at that time, I was already like into graffiti, right? And I already had written a few names. And in the beginning, I kept switching my names because either I started knowing more history about graph, and people would be like, "Oh, that name's taken," or like, "Oh, you shouldn't write that name. Someone else writes it," or whatever. Or I just didn't like the letters. So yeah, around that time, like I would look at that damn calendar every morning, and I saw hotel, and like I just liked the letters. I liked the way it would like flow. And yeah, that's pretty much how I came up with that name.
I like your Instagram handle because it aligns with the Mr. Holiday Inn. It kind of like
Oh,
aligns with hotel.
yeah, I know it's kind of funny, Mister, because like a Mister, someone already like kind of old and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes people meet me and they're like, "Bro, I thought you were like 40, 40 plus."
Wait till you get that new term that everybody's using, the unk. Like, hey, unk.
Man, I, this new generation be having funny ass language, dog, like unk or like crack or like
Yeah, bro. Because
they,
when I was in
you
high
know,
school, you tell someone I'm gonna crack, it's like you're gonna punch him.
yeah.
But now you tell them, hey, you're gonna get cracked. That means like you're gonna have sex with that thing. And I'm just
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like before that word was used, like, yeah, I'm gonna go crack this fool, like, I'm gonna go punch this fool.
Yeah.
And then now, like how you said, like crack means like go fucking have
Go-
sex with this.
yeah, and I'm just
person.
like, now you gotta watch like the new lingo type thing, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
whoa, what's going on over here? You know?
Even with unk, it's like unk is short term for uncle, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, bruh, the new generation is using that word like old person.
Yeah, like I guess it's supposed to mean uncool. That's
Oh, it's uncle too.
yeah, I guess that's what it means. It means
I didn't
unk.
even know that too now.
It means unk is like uncle, but it
Oh.
can also mean unk is like you're uncool.
Oh,
And I'm just like, whoa, like it's the terminology has changed
Yeah,
dramatically.
yeah, it has a lot. Yeah.
Earlier we were talking, brother, how like in the early 2000s, internet was barely coming in. Social media wasn't a thing. Everybody wasn't holding a phone, and being so accessible and stuff like that. And in your opinion, how do you think that impacted the graffiti culture for you, coming from a time where like that wasn't really implied to like now it's being used heavily?
Oh hell yeah! Everyone's using Instagram nowadays. Worldwide. It's a worldwide app. People use it all over the earth, all over the globe. Now you can just be on your couch, bro, and you can see like someone on the other side of the earth painting.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even got paint over there. They're using like house paint or something. But yeah, I grew up where like if I wanted to see graffiti, I would have to like get a magazine or like pretty much just see hard copies of people you meet. They'll show you their hard copy folder and you can see everything they painted. Like that's kind of like the wave I kind of dove into.
Do you remember what those magazines were? Your early magazines, like the names of them?
Nah, I don't remember the names, bro. I was so young at the time, and I was always hella high off weed, bro. And I was just like, either high or drunk, and I was just living life, young, just enjoying days. But I don't really recall the names of the magazines, but nowadays there is a lot of more magazines. But before, that's how you would see graffiti, like in person or through magazines. Yeah, but the graffiti world got impacted with Instagram. Like now, people don't have to like leave their house to go see who's painting. Now you can just go on your phone and see who's active.
Yeah, I remember for me the very first time I witnessed graffiti on the internet was through 50 millimeter. That's when I was like, you were able to see what people were doing, and then they had like this board on there, which was like, whoa. And then after that, MySpace, I didn't see much a lot on MySpace,
No, there was no graph on there.
but I did see Flickr, and when Flickr came, that one was hitting tough.
Yeah, I remember Flickr. I remember 12 ounce.
Yeah,
I would have to go to the nearest community center to go on their computer, and get those 15 to 30 minutes on there on the internet to go browse 12 ounce.
them
And
big old monitors and
yeah,
big old
bro.
TV.
And 12 ounce was hella cool because they had hella like different sections of like all of the graffiti like all over the states, and they had like graph on grows. I remember my boy, that fool fucking he clicked that forum, the graph on grows, and like we that day the library was full, so we got a computer like by the people who worked there, and this dude clicked on it not knowing what it was, and he got us kicked out.
We
Yeah,
got purged on 903.
dude, we were hella young. Like they looked at us like, what the hell are these young ass kids doing in here
Yeah.
on this? And we're just like, oh, like I told them like, oh, I don't know, my friend's the one like using it, but we don't know what the website was. We just kind of came across it to look at art, and like that graph on girls came out.
It's
I think you
crazy.
could see like shrimp. That fool had hella pieces on females.
I remember that everybody was doing that for a minute. You would see all full bodies, bro,
Oh,
just
hell yeah.
blasted.
Top to bottom, so
Yeah.
like the shoulder to the ankles. And
Yeah.
if you weren't getting pictures like that, like you weren't cool, I guess you were unk.
Yeah.
Damn, good times. For
Le-
sure, 12 ounce was cool.
Coming up, bro, in the Bay as a teen, right, in the early 2000s, was supply accessible? Because I know, like, now you can order it online, but back then, did you guys have to, like, kind of go racket type thing, or did they already have shops?
Nah, like when I was really getting into it, I'm not gonna lie, like I used a Crayola, a crayon, like if it was a streaker,
Yeah.
And then like after that I started making my own mops. I would go get like the shoe polisher things you could find like at the liquor store or like at Walmart, and then I would just dump that paint out, and then I would make my own mops at that time. So I would have to go to a different store and get like a Rust-Oleum, like oil-based paint, and then I would have to go and get nail polish remover, and so I would put both of those together in that shoe polish mop thing, and I would create my own mop. But back in the day, those mops, like if you weren't writing on super smooth surfaces, the nib would just break after like one tag.
Yeah, if you hit those walls that are really, like, bumpy and
Yeah,
grainy, like,
yeah.
you'll rip the whole
You'll rip
sponge
the
off.
whole sponge off, bro. So you kind of had to like get put up on game on like what kind of surfaces to hit with those, or you would just have to have a bunch of them and reload, in case
Yeah.
one breaks, you got another one. Um,
I remember Sharpie, the brand Sharpie had a white streaker.
they did the mean streak.
And that's the first one that I ever touched that I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
And then I started using that one.
yeah. Those
didn't-
melt hella quick though.
Yeah.
like 'em that much.
I didn't know about the other one, the Sakura, I
The
think.
Sakura, those are the original streaks. But yeah, like where I grew up at it was hard to get the supplies, And even like the older homies wouldn't tell you where to go at the time. If we were like the younger ones,
Yeah.
they wouldn't let us know, like, oh, go to the smoke shop, they sell streakers and caps, Like back in the day, people were very like secretly, like they didn't want to let you know where the
They were
things were,
gatekeeping.
They were gatekeeping because if everyone goes there, then they're gonna run out, and then those foods are not gonna have any supplies. But yeah, I remember like there was a main street, it was King Road, and then there was an audio shop, and this guy used to focus on putting stereos and slap on cars. And one time I met some fool, and he's like, "Hey fool, let's go over here, like let's go get streakers and caps." And I went with him, and this dude had like just the Sakura streakers, but he only had like the yellow and the black ones, and then he had pink dots. and New York Fats. Those are the only two caps he had.
Yeah.
And he was selling it to us. We were like young, but like, bro, when we were leaving that store, we were like, fuck yeah, bro. Like we just hit like a good spot, you know? Like there was no websites back in the day. Like you couldn't order like how it is now. Like you can order now everything on a website, like spray cans, caps, gloves.
You can even order a
Everything.
damn book to teach you how to do your name type thing now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people got it way easier nowadays.
How was that feeling, bro? Because I remember the first time that I came across a fat cap, right? It was a pink dot. That was the first fat cap that I knew of about, right, in my surrounding. And like the first time spraying it, because people wouldn't tell you, like, oh, this is where we get it or whatever, right? So like the first time you got your hands on one, and you're like, oh, now it's my turn to mess with it. How was that for you?
Man, that was like it was a it was kind of a mess in the beginning because like I was putting it in like Krylon cans and like the dollar cans from Walmart, and like some cans would work with it and other cans won't fit it correctly, so it will leak a bunch of paint. So it was shocking, you know, like experimenting with it. But man, after you got it on that perfect can and you caught that good, you know, flared fat tag, like man, that was a great feeling. Like
Juicy, huh?
super fucking cool, bro.
Did you ever use the Osh cans, the big Osh cans?
Yeah.
Those are cool. The
I
big
used to
Osh
get
cans.
those, dude. Yeah, I used to get a bunch of those back in the day when I was a toy. I used to get a bunch of plumbing supplies from Osh, right? We used to rack them and then we would get the store credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our technique with Osh. And I feel like that's why they went out of business.
I remember they had the tall ones too. They had the tall black and white ones.
It was like the turbo size ones.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, those were the bombing ones, bro. We used to get those a lot. And then they also had another colorway like a maroon in them.
Okay.
And that one was another good color that I used to use in those.
You know, for me, bro, the very first high end spray can that I ever touched was the Belton when it had the three marbles.
Nice.
That's the first one that I touched where I was like, oh shit, this is for riders by riders type thing.
Yeah.
When was the first time that you got yourself on a can that's like now, you know, big name that's from riders for riders?
Damn, bro, that was probably like it took a lot of years before I even touched like a Montana or like a Iron Lac or like a designer can. That's what we call them, you know, because they're like fancy. They're like like the top of the line cans. But
Yeah.
man, growing up, like we didn't have any of that. Like even our Michaels didn't carry those at the time.
Okay.
So yeah, like I just painted with a bunch of Walmart dollar cans. Back in the day, they had these chromes. They were only $1 at Walmart, and they had blacks and whites. And I think they might have red and yellows, but I think I just remember about those dollar chromes, bro. And we used to fucking cause wreck with those. And yeah, I mean, it's different when you go from like a dollar can to like a high end quality spray can. You know, the sprays hella good with the caps. Like it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like back then it was kind of like you would have to come up on your cans type thing, and then
Yeah.
having to transition to the idea of like now I got to purchase this because it's not like you're gonna go into a graph shop and hey, keep looking, I'm gonna rack real quick 'cause it's not gonna happen.
Oh
You
no,
know?
you're gonna get hated on. Might get your ass beat. But yeah, I used to rack a lot, bro. And then, like I said, we did the store credit at Osh, where you know you could come up on like some type of like plumbing parts in the
Yeah.
plumbing aisle because they were super small, right? And they were like in little plastic bags, so you know you could probably fit like a handful, and they were each like 15.99. So you grab like a few handful, you know, and you just dip out and go to a different Osh and just return them and just ask for store credit, and they would give us a store credit card, and that's the way I was getting paint too.
Out there hustling.
Yeah, man. But the first time I ever like racked hella paint, it was from like this auto car paint shop.
Mm.
They had hella cans, bro, like right by the entrance of it. And one time I was just walking, bro, and I saw a bunch of paint. So like I went back and I grabbed my backpack, and then you know I hit it and I grabbed as much as I can, and then they found out I was racking their paint and they yelled at me and I ran away. I dropped the cans while I was like trying to run away from them.
Yeah.
And the owners are like trying to chase me down the street, but I was, you know, young, and I was pretty fast at running, so I took off on them. They just gave up. They never caught me.
You know what, brother? In LA, the gang culture is very heavy in the barrios, right? Like
Yeah.
for someone like me, gang culture was always there, and you kind of had to like keep your eye open type thing where you don't want to overpass certain situations. Was that something you had to deal with in the Bay?
Yeah, I actually dealt with that like a few times growing up. Um, and it was in like my high school years. I think it was like my junior year in high school. I was already doing graph a lot around that time, and I was hanging out with my boy, and we went to go link up with these chicks, right, in their neighborhood, and we've never been over there on that side of town, and we were on our skateboards, and we were waiting for them like in this alley, and then some dude came up to us. He's like, "What's up? What are you guys doing here? This and that." He started banging on us, and we're like, "Yo, like we don't want nothing. We're not even into that."
Yeah.
And then he pulled out a gun, and he's like, "Oh, lift your shirts up." So then we lifted our shirts up, and he was looking at our belts to see if we had like a belt buckle with like a initial or something, or if they were color. And yeah, bro, like I feel like out there too, you could run into some type of gang activities too, just
Yeah.
depending where you're at.
Yeah, because sometimes it could escalate real quick. It'll go from what are you doing here to like, what do you want type thing. And then it could become something much bigger than what it truly is.
Yeah, and at the time we were just like youngsters, we were there to hang out and kick it. But yeah, who knows who that dude was? I don't know if it was her uncle or nothing. We never told them that we got checked because they were trying to act all cool. But yeah, man, that's a crazy memory that stuck with me because we were young, and this guy pulled out a gun on us, and we never thought we were gonna run into that
Yeah,
type of
like
stuff that
we
day.
were just trying to get ours for the day.
We told him, we're like, "Hey, bro, we're skaters and we're taggers," and he's like, "Well, you guys are not like da na na," and we're like, "Nah, hell nah, like this is what we write," and he's like, "All right, well, go wait for them over there." Like I guess he didn't want us right there.
Oh, I gotcha.
But yeah, I feel like LA does have a bigger like they probably have more gangs or something. I don't know.
As far as music coming up, brother, like while you're into doing your graph, was hip hop like your main source of music you were consuming, or you're into other genres of music?
Yeah, growing up, hip hop and rap was like the main things I would listen to.
Like underground type thing?
Yeah, like Wu Tang, Nas, Big L,
Because
Talib Kweli, like a bunch of artists, who are like kind of famous, but they're not famous where they're gonna sell out arenas,
yeah,
but they're like underground famous. So yeah, like growing up, I would listen to a lot of underground hip hop for sure. And
they had
then,
their run in their mid 2000s. Like you
yeah,
had like Necro, Jedi Mind
there you
Tricks,
go. I listened to
Benefit,
all them too.
Atmosphere,
Necro.
and then you had the backpack cipher type stuff that was really cool.
Yup.
I remember hearing and watching all of it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah. Yeah, Atmosphere, MERS, like man, the list goes on. But yeah,
Yeah.
Necro, that's cool. You mentioned them. I really like that dude's rapping style. Is all like crazy, like like
He tripped me out
he
though. How
tripped me out.
he took the LL Cool J song with the "I Need Love"
Yeah,
to "I Need Drugs," and I was like, "Whoa!" That was it for me. I was like, "This
yeah.
guy."
Being super young and listening to all that was crazy, because like I look at my nephew and like at his age, like I was listening to Necro and the shit he spits is crazy. So it's like, yeah, Necro was like a dark soul type of rapper at some
Even
point, and it was kind of like creepy and weird. And it's
yeah,
like
but it's still dope. Like you're like,
crazy.
"Oh
The
shit!"
beats or something made it hella dope. But yeah, that fool was crazy. Like
Even like
I don't know.
Immortal Technique with Dancing with
There
the
you go,
Devil.
dancing with Immortal Technique. Yup.
I've always wondered, like, damn, bro, was that for really there? Was that like
Right.
true,
The story.
or did he just make it up? And it's like
It's true.
one day we'll know when we meet him, type shit. You know,
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
had the chance to meet him face to face, but I've
Me
seen him
either.
before.
Yeah, Immortal Technique, bro. Like that group is cool. I like it. They have a lot of songs, a lot of music, and yeah, like I said, that storytelling of Dancing with the Devil, it could be kind of like it could give you the chills. It's kind of weird. It's crazy.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, and you're drawing, and you're like
Yeah, and then you're
listening
like, what
to
the
him.
fuck?
It's like you're locked in the zone type thing.
Yeah, bro. And I would listen to all that type of music when I was young. On the rainy days, I'll just put the music on and sketch and crumble it up because I'll be like, that's whack, and then just run through a bunch of paper and pencil and listen to new music and stuff like that. I also like rock and like reggae, like Metallica, Nirvana, Ozzy Osbourne.
The rock, huh?
Yeah,
How about when it comes to reggae? You like the old style reggae, like Gregory Isaacs, Ika Mouse type thing?
yeah, Ika Mouse, that type of reggae.
Because
Like,
I know
bro.
they have a new way.
Night Nurse, like
Yeah.
all that, all the old school like reggae. I really love all that.
They used to have the Bob Marley festival in Long Beach, bro.
Oh, that's cool.
And that shit used to be crazy.
Bob Marley's he's like the Tupac of reggae. He never gets old. So
Yeah.
yeah, I used to
Because I know they have a new
Bob
wave
Marley.
too. Because they have like the new wave would be kind of like slightly stupid, revolution,
Yeah,
the
Revolution.
expandable stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all like the newer people. They're
Yeah.
cool too, but I'm more of like the old school artists.
You know, brother, in LA early on, they had like a lot of videos that contributed to the culture, like war movies, stuff like that, graffiti wise. Did
Mhm.
you guys have anything of that nature in the Bay? Like somebody pumping out videos before going like viral was a thing?
Let me see. Damn, I mean, war was a big talk up there in
Uh-huh.
Northern Cali. Like, they were doing their thing, and it's crazy how much footage they actually got for those videos in those days.
Yeah.
And it's super cool the way they like the production of all those movies because they were showing a lot more than graffiti, but
Yeah, it was like it was kind of
it
like,
was like a movie.
yeah, it was like a whole movement. Like you just had
Yeah,
to
yeah,
witness it
you
type
had to
thing.
be there and live it. And times change now. Now the newer generation could see those type of movies and they'll cancel all those guys, or whatever. But times change, and it's always been like that. Like that's the realness of graffiti and hip hop. Like drinking 40s, partying, painting, racking, fighting. Like that's what that movie showed. But I think in the Bay Area, yeah, there was like Piece by Piece. What other ones? There was these other two films that were like actual movies, and
Okay.
they were filmed in SF. One of them, man, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like two dudes, and they were like bombing partners, and one of them would paint with like his pops in San Francisco.
Oh, I seen
You
it,
remember that
and
movie?
at the end when the guy dies, he
Yeah,
goes hits the rooftop,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
he
yeah,
buffs it.
yeah. Exactly. That's the one I'm talking about.
Damn, what was it
He,
called? I
I,
don't remember, but I
bombing the
seen
system.
no bombing the
It's a
system.
different one
The
too.
bombing the system was in New York.
Okay, yeah, yeah. See, that's another movie that's not from the Bay Area, but I grew up watching that one.
That one was dope. Bombing the system was
Bombing the
dope,
System is super
and
cool.
then the one that you mentioned was dope too.
The
I'm
one
gonna figure it
I
out.
forgot the name of that one, bro, but you know which one I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah,
Yeah, that dude. He used to bomb the van. He used to write Vane.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Him and his boy, and they were like partying and going to work and
But then
bombing
one
the
fool's like,
system.
I gotta grow up type shit, and
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
fool's like, fuck that, I'm
Fuck
bombing
that.
for life.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, to each their own, and I respect both of those guys. Sometimes people gotta leave the scene, but
I didn't understand that message in the end of the movie because like his homie passes away, right?
yeah.
He goes to the rooftop, he paints his homie's name,
Hmm.
and then once he's done, he looks at it and then he busts it with the roller paint.
Yeah, I
Like
never got that.
I never understood that message.
I mean, nothing lasts forever, bro. That's the
Yeah.
that's the message I see. Like we're here just to be here, and like it's everything is temporary from designer things to the most expensive cars. Even in Graph, bro, you could have like the sickest spa in the city, and next thing you know, it could get demolitioned or it could get buffed, or like someone else will go over it with something bigger and better. Like nothing is forever. That's the message of it. I see.
Or somebody will go and scribble, Lucy was here, or
Yeah, bro, you got those tweaks or the people who find those scrap cans laying around. That's why the number one rule: never leave your paint at spots, because some of those cans might have a little bit, and then you got people who are not in the graffiti scene. They'll go in there just to hang out or to do whatever they do, and they can mess people's pieces and stuff
I
like that.
seen it happen, man. I seen like full on like productions, and you got one guy that will put right there some scribble scrabble type
Yeah,
thing.
bro, they'll put like A plus B forever, some stupid stuff. Yeah.
Did you ever have? Were you ever inspired, bro, by graffiti from other parts of the world coming up?
Yeah, like damn. Yeah, I feel like graffiti's all over the world, and like Mexico, it's a big inspiration because of the way they do their 3D. Like I've seen pieces, long time ago on magazines where like these dudes would do a piece on the wall, but the way they navigate the shadow and the 3D, it makes the piece like super 3D, like super pop out. And I feel like Mexico is one of the countries who kind of pushes that style. And then
They're doing some great stuff out there, man. Right now,
yeah, I need to take a trip
they're
down
doing
there.
some dope stuff right now.
I know they've been doing a lot of events, which is cool, and they're keeping the whole culture going.
Have you ever tried their paint down there? The
The
360?
360? No, never.
No.
No.
Yeah, they have their own. They have more. They have more brands down there, but 360 I think is their most popular brand down there.
Yeah, that's the main one, huh?
How about New York? Did New York ever play an impact in you?
Yeah, hell yeah. Uh, all those old school subway riders, man. Like the way they were doing all those top to bottom subways, like at that time is incredible because they weren't getting permission to do that. Like they were just out there doing it, bro. But they were setting the bar, and the graffiti culture were like, instead of doing this little tag, like you could do this bigger, like and bulkier, and add more colors. Like, bro, like yeah, New York, like fuck, I
Big
give them
old
mad
box
props.
cars is
Yeah,
just going by full
yeah.
production. It's like, whoa.
And the main thing that I really loved about it was that like they could paint it at night, and then they could get the rolling footage of it. Like that was the best thing I think the that was from out there. Besides like all their styles, obviously, like
Yeah.
you could see how many writers were around that time, and you could see how a lot of them were doing like different styles. So, and we're talking about like this is like the late '70s, like '80s,
Yeah.
and yeah, like there was a lot of great styles and
And they were dude,
great pieces.
they were definitely, setting a standard.
Yeah, they were doing top to bottoms with characters, and if it was Christmas, they'll do like Christmas themes. Like they were pretty much trendsetters, dog. Like hell yeah,
You
New
know,
York.
and the Bay Brother, who are some of those individuals that help push the culture forward that are kind of like established that you're aware of?
Um, man, like R.I.P. Dream, TDK.
Man, that guy's
That
super sick.
dude, yeah, that fool was ahead of his time. Like you go back and look at all his pieces, and all the connections and the colorways, and you go and look at the date, the year it was done. You're like, what the fuck?
That guy has styles,
Yeah,
man.
that fool had hella styles, dog. So he pushed the culture for graffiti in the Bay for sure a lot, and a lot of other heads too. Not just him, but like the top off the top of my head for sure. Dream TDK, like he put on the whole Bay Area, because people were finding out how good that dude was.
How does it work for you, brother, hopping into putting like a burner or a bomb together? Like, are you kind of like, I do the background first type thing, or I shade in the first? How does the procedure work for you when you're articulating your piece?
For me, I always did this like when I was starting to even try to do pieces on paper. I would always just sketch it, do my outline, and then I would fill it in, and then I would probably knock out the background. I'm knocking out the background. The filling is drying up, and then it just depends on how many effects I want to add on the background. If I want to add a lot of details and effects, then I'll just keep playing with the background, and then the outline would be like the final output.
When it comes to color coordination, like the color schemes, does that kind of like happen in the moment for you type thing? Or do you kind of like already have in your mind, like, all right, today I'm going to do a two tone of blue with a black outline type thing?
Nah, like I always just like I just take whatever cans I have, and when I get to the spot, I'll just bust a piece with whatever colors I have. Because sometimes you could go to a train, and you could be like, all right, well, I'm setting up all my colors, right? And I'm gonna paint this type of train. But then when you show up to the train yard, you don't run into a train that's that color that you were planning on painting,
Yeah.
with the colors you had. So I've had that problem a few times. So me, I just like pack all my paint and I just go and do the do and just I just bust freestyle whatever colorways I have. There's been some pieces that I don't like. I didn't have the right colors, or like I messed up. I should have done a
Yeah.
different outline, but oh wow, they're there.
What is your input on this, brother? Because I know a lot of individuals feel like if you just paint trains, that doesn't make you like a pure writer, right? Like they feel like you have to be in the streets type thing. What is your input on that?
Um, I'll say my opinion about it, but like I'm not trying to choose sides, because when it comes to this question, like there's two sides of it
Yeah.
or a few sides. But for me, a graffiti writer should be, you have to do it all. You have to do, stickers, tags with markers. You have to do tags with spray cans. You got to do bubble letters. You got to do blockbuster letters. You got to do straights, burners, pieces. You got to do it all, man. Even trains. You got to do trains, rooftops. Like you got to do it all, because once you do it all, it's pretty much like you unlocked a different level.
Okay.
Because if you stick to the same thing like for 5 years, like you won't know how it feels to be on a rooftop, late night, like up there, trying to finish a bomb or a piece or whatever.
Hearing noises and
Yeah,
fucking
bro, you could hear like sirens, you could hear people like on the apartment buildings across.
gunshots and all kinds of
Yeah, you're
stuff.
up there just like being a Batman. You're a villain, bro. So like a lot of writers don't know the feeling of that because they never get to that level. So yeah, it's always good to push yourself to that level, but when you're ready, because you got to know a lot of things when you're painting. You can't just like say like, oh, I'm gonna go get this rooftop. It's not that easy. Like there's a lot of things you got to know. Like, is there people living under that roof, or like, is there a building across from that rooftop, like apartment building that can see you? You got to be aware of your surroundings. Like, how are you going to get up there? Like, it's not easy. Like, that's why a lot of writers get props when they come correct on a roof because it's not easy. But yeah, you got to do it all. It's like being a soccer player, or you got to be good at penalties. You got to be good at your position. You got to be a team player. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, so you got to know how to play the sport correctly.
What I enjoy about freights though is like you could paint a freight today in LA and tomorrow that thing will be in Alaska type thing.
Hmm.
And it travels and it moves and it gets to other places where people could witness your work. And then some guys even do that for a hobby. They snap pictures of freights all day.
Oh yeah, I got buddies who do that.
And I think that's interesting.
Yeah, because they're in their own little world. Like I have friends who like they tell me like, oh, after work I'm gonna go bench. Like I'm gonna go take pictures of all these trains, and they're gonna walk the line and take pictures. It's cool. I respect everyone. I respect they're all my friends, even if they don't pick up a spray can. If they show respect to me, I show respect to them, and we make a friendship. And there is a different rules uh, to both of us. Like you could be a rider and you got your own rules in the train track, and you could be a bencher and there's like different rules. But yeah, painting trains is cool because like how you mentioned, you could paint one in LA and like I'll see it up there, in NorCal, and then from there it goes up to like Canada.
Yeah.
But to get all the way up to Canada, it's gonna have to pass a lot of cities. So yeah, like it's a rolling canvas, bro. It's fucking awesome.
Have you ever had an out of the ordinary encounter with the people that worked at train yards?
Yeah.
Where they're kind of like, hey, get out of here. Or,
Yeah, bro. They're assholes,
yeah.
they'll call the cops on you. Like it's not a playground. You can't just go in there either in the trains and think it's something sweet. It's not like walking around the streets, and catching tags or putting stickers up. Like when you're in a train yard, you got to be, cautious of the trains because they can move. You could get injured, or you could get like ran over. Like it's crazy being in there. It's not a playground, like I said. And definitely like you could get arrested for being in there for trespassing. The workers are, you could be going over their numbers and make their job harder. So yeah, there's a lot of things that comes with painting trains, and I feel not to talk bad about anyone, but like you got to have certain years of doing graffiti in order for you to walk up in a yard and paint it because uh, the train scene is big and it's big everywhere. It's not just like where I stay at.
Yeah.
So if that's what I'm saying. You gotta kind of have a good amount of experience because if you're not ready, you're gonna paint something and then the train's gonna travel and it might get gone over by another rider who's been doing this for a longer time. So yeah, like make sure you know what you're doing when you go to the trains and respect the spot.
Have you had the chance to travel to paint like out of the West Coast?
Yeah, I've been to New York, I've been to Seattle, Kansas City, Atlanta, St. Louis.
How was those experiences for you? And does any one of those states stand out at all for you?
Yeah, I really liked Atlanta. It was hella fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like it reminded me of Oakland. Like everything is grilled and it's a big city to cover. Definitely you can't cover it like in a weekend.
But graph is alive down there.
But graph is alive. Atlanta has a huge graph scene, bro. It's like everything. Like they got rollers, they got rooftop spots, like they got everything.
Oh
Like
wow.
it's active. It's like
Okay.
there's a lot of riders who actually hit Atlanta.
My bad. I need to go check it
I
out.
went to Portland too. They're all nearby, in NorCal. But I the way I see it, like I want to cover the 50 states first,
Mhm.
and I want to get like at least like even if it's stickers to tags to bubble letters, the super easy stuff. I want to get all that in the 50 states before I go international.
Gotcha.
Like that's something on my graffiti bucket list. Like I don't want to fly international until I mark all the 50 states.
You know what would be cool? Getting a map of 50 states and then each spot cut it out with your piece that you painted there and
Oh,
make your own map.
bro, that'd be hella cool.
That'd be-
You gave me an idea. I'm gonna write it down.
That'd be super dope. And then it's like the hotel map and
Hey.
then all the 50, and they can say on the bottom, this was here and this was
Yeah,
here.
bro, that'd be hella cool. Like
And then-
take a picture of like that piece and put it in that. Like,
You can even do something where like if whoever takes a picture of every single spot and sends it done,
yeah,
I got something for you. That'd be
yeah.
pretty
I'll give
cool.
them a little gift, a free canvas, customize their name on it, or
I really like your necklace, bro. That thing is dope. You came up with that yourself, right?
yeah, I designed it and I hit up the manufacturer to do it for me, and yeah, I've been selling them.
As if someone wants to get one, they go to your Instagram link.
Yeah, yeah. You go on my Instagram and then you hit the link right there. It takes you to my big cartel shop, and that's where all the little merchandise that I've created are at. And then I also put canvases and other stuff that I personally draw.
Yeah.
And for me, that means a lot, because I take my time. It comes out of my soul, like I'm sitting down, sketching, mastering it, and trying to put it up on the website to sell it. And that means a lot to me. That's why like all my original artwork is expensive, because it takes a part of me, like
And it's hand drawn.
it's hand drawn.
Yeah.
And it goes to a new home.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got from like beanies to coffee mugs to like necklaces, shirts.
I like the
keychains.
rusted can idea. How you got the rusted can and you
Oh,
put
yeah.
the hotel on it. I think that's super dope.
Yeah, that's cool. And then I got science canvases.
Do you
know,
have a dream collab, bro? Is there someone that you want to collab with or you've been wanting to collab with? It could be a brand or an artist.
let's see. Man, that's a real good question. Like, yeah, I would want to collab with like big companies, but
I think like collabing, for me, I think collabing with like a soft drink company would be cool. Like having a can with your artwork on it and hit like nationwide type thing. Like any
Yeah.
grocery market you go to, hotel soda, you know what I mean?
yeah, that would be
the-
cool. Like, I'll be down to collab with like Arizona.
That'd be dope.
Like back in the day, I was hella poor, and all I could afford was Arizona's.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that has a part of me, like growing up, like being at the skate park, going to the 7-Eleven and getting a cold ass iced tea Arizona.
I remember when I walked into the liquor store for the first time and I had the half option,
You're
Arizona.
like, this is exotic.
I was like, whoa, what the? I was like
Yeah.
all excited, like I just won a prize or something.
yeah, yeah. That would be a good idea. Like I would like to collab with like Pepsi or like Arizona, like Nike. I don't know. The list goes on, but it's just like me just imagining things. But hey,
Anything's
you never
possible,
know.
man. Anything's
Exactly. You never
possible.
know. Everything comes at its time.
And 2026, brother, do you have any inspiration as far as graffiti? Is there something out there that inspires you?
Yeah. On my Instagram, I never post like my social life, like what I do on my day-to-day basis when I'm not painting. But yeah, like a huge inspiration is my family.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. I've been a father for 9 years now, so that's a huge inspiration. Like that's what makes me get up every day from bed and go get the paper. Like if I don't grind, she don't eat, and obviously I gotta eat too.
And I think it mellows you down because you get to a point where, like, as a father, you don't want to be dealing with so much nonsense that's not worth the energy. You'd rather take the energy home and spend it with your loved one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if someone sees you at the store and you're on your way to the store to buy something new for your daughter, and some guy sees you, hey, toy, blah, blah, blah. Your mind is kind of like, I'm not really on that right now. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like bro, I can't come home, with like blood on my knuckles or blood on my shirt and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you got a big point. Like, I got to a point where like all that's nonsense to me. Like, there's a lot of jealousy in the sport. I call it a sport because everyone does it and everyone wants to win. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of haters, but like, yeah, like I try to keep all the negative energy and like all the negative comments and all that aside. Like I don't want to deal with it. Like it's easy to hop on Instagram and make a fake profile and say the darkest and the meanest things to another writer. But like I've had a lot of those, and I blocked a lot of profiles and stuff like that. And yeah, like for me, I feel like, just stay in your lane and there won't be no problems. Like the more you're over here putting your head into other people's business, that's like where you get off track, and that's where you don't see yourself leveling up because you're too focused on the next person. So yeah, you want to just like stay in your lane and just mind your own business and have fun.
To me, bro, I believe the internet is just the internet. Because there's a lot of people that will say a lot of things on the internet, but then they'll see you in person and they won't have that same energy.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's like, and then it gets you thinking, like, huh, the internet really is just the internet.
Yeah, dog, the internet is crazy. Like this was probably eating like beef jerky with hella Capri Suns, and his mom's like ordering food for him, pizza, and this was over here like talking mad fucking shit on
Imagine
Instagram.
the famous people like a Drake or
Justin Bieber,
like the type of shit they're going through on the
bro, they
internet.
probably get hella comments like crazy shit, bro. Like I'm gonna go to your pad and shoot it up, or like they be probably getting some crazy like
I know where your girl works at.
yeah, like some crazy stuff like that, bro. Like, but it comes with it, bro. Like when you get to a certain level of fame and you get recognition, you're gonna have a lot of haters, and it's part of it. It comes with it, bro. It's always been like that from like back in the day, like artists and celebrities. It just comes with it.
Last question I got for you, brother, before we get out of here. How was that for you the first time you got recognized for being hotel? Like, oh shit, you're hotel?
Bro, like, let me see. There was a story, right? I was walking downtown, right,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just walking with my boy. We're on the way to go get some tacos, and we had markers and slaps, and we're just getting up. And we kind of come to this area where there's like more pedestrians and more people, right? And then boom, we're just still catching tags, and then all of a sudden, like this little crowd of like youngsters walk by, and they're like, "Yo, your hotel?" And I'm like in the middle of my tag finishing it, and I'm just like, "Yeah." I don't even know who the hell they were. Like my back is facing them,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah." And then I turned around, and they're like, "Dude, no way, you're a legend." Like, what? I can't believe I met you right now. And then I was just like, just chill, like, oh, that's cool. Nice to meet you guys. Like, do you guys write too or what? And it happened to be that they were like toys, like that they were just getting into it, but
Yeah.
they kind of had more love for the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they recognized me, and maybe from like one of my viral videos on Instagram, or maybe they just see me up everywhere because I put in rec. Nah.
How does that make you feel within though? Does that make you happy, like, or does that make you feel like maybe I should stay more low key type thing?
Um, I'm gonna just keep doing what I do because it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you end up in Paris and someone would be like, "Are you hotel?" And they would be like, "Oh."
Yeah. Well, bro, I've sent my merch out to all over the world, bro.
Yeah.
I've shipped out sticker packs, canvases. I shipped them out to like, England, Russia, Canada,
So
Mexico. I've done international shipping.
so hotels worldwide.
So yeah, like I'm sure that's the way they recognize me through Instagram and maybe from the freights too, because I've been such a huge fan for freights for the last 6 years, and I've been getting a lot of numbers. So maybe they've recognized me with my freights.
Hotels coming to a state near you.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for stopping by, brother. It was really great having you here today. It's nothing but love and respect. Is there anybody out there you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I want to give a shout out to my family, my daughter, all my true friends who are always there for me and who are real. When there's good times and bad times, and shout out to all my crewmates.
You guys heard it from Hotel himself, guys. It's nothing but love and respect. Make sure to check out gotnocontrol.com. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's nothing but respect. Till next time, guys. Peace.
Peace.